Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Hello, and welcome to the Full Send Half Mast podcast, episode 53. I'm here with Tom and Jared. How are you guys doing tonight?
Yo.
Heck yeah. Ready to talk about some racing. We had a little bit of racing this weekend with the Roar before the 24, the VP series. Got some qualifying for the Rolex 24. So we're going to talk about tonight, as well as set you guys up for the Rolex 24. We'll give you all of our picks, predictions, and everything to go along with that. We'll cover some news here tonight. A little bit of extras that we want to talk about, as well as all of our hopes, dreams, ambitions, wants, and everything in relation to this upcoming racing season. And then we'll talk about a little bit of our broadcast and streaming schedule for the rest of this week, so to get you guys all caught back up. But before we get into this podcast, we're going to get a quick word from our sponsor. W Energy Blends, introducing Neurofactor, an all-natural coffee cherry extract to help fill you with energy, concentration, and laser focus. It also provides vitamins without the crash that ordinary canned energy drinks just cannot provide. Try amazing flavors such as Dragonade, Dub Sludge, Galaxy Grenade, and my personal favorite, Beach and Peach. Buy the starter pack today, including 2 flavors and a shake cup for an extremely low price. Follow the link in the description below and use promo code DIGABOYS for 10% off your order. Thanks to W for their continued sponsorship of DIGABOYS Broadcasting. Alrighty. First off, before we get right into the news, I do want to just give a shout out to everybody who has liked, commented, and subscribed to this channel over the last 10.5 months. We just reached a huge milestone on this channel. We're at 1,000 subscribers. Unbelievable. I can't believe we made it to this point. I can't thank everybody enough for all of their support throughout this journey. And I'm just excited for the future and the more content that we could bring to you guys here on this wonderful platform of YouTube. So thank you guys so very, very, very much from everybody at Dega Boys.
Yeah. Wow. Just wow. Thank you.
Unbelievable.
So my 3rd grade teacher who said I would never amount to anything, well, I just amounted to it.
I love it. I love
Oh
it.
man. Alrighty. I say let's get right into a little bit of news here before we get into all of the Rolex 24 awesomeness to talk about. First off, Kaz Gralla has signed a 25 race deal with Rick Ware Racing for 2024 in the, I believe it's the number 15 car. So interesting, right? 25 races with Rick Ware Racing. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Kaz Gralla. I've never really had an opinion one way or the other. So we'll see. We'll see. It's Rick Ware Racing. Oh,
That man had one decent season in the Truck Series.
yeah, I would agree.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's about all he's ever had. I don't know. It'd be interesting. And another thing to add to that as well, I want to mention that first before we get too far. Cody Ware, potential part time in with Rick Ware Racing in 2024. So what? 25 races for Kaz. That leaves 11 more points races. Do we see Cody Ware make another few starts here in 2024 back with his dad's team, nepotism at its finest?
Didn't he beat his wife or something? Right?
I don't know.
Pretty sure he
Yeah,
smacked
it's
around
something like
somebody
that. Yeah, it was something like that. I don't
and
know.
went home and acted like it was the 1940s or something.
Yeah, I don't know. No comment. Yeah, I don't see him. I don't see him. I don't know. It'll
I'd
be
be really
interesting.
surprised if they sell any merchandise out of that Rick Ware Racing camp. I'm gonna just be honest.
I never even heard the news where he ever got cleared. Oh no, yeah, we did cover that. That was a couple
Yeah.
months ago. He did get reinstated. That's right. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. We'll talk about him more here in a minute, especially with the races this weekend. I got some stuff I want to say about that, so I don't want to spoil it yet. Also, AM Racing, sad news. We talked about this many times. Even when the announcement happened that Deegan was going to AM Racing in that video, we're like, you know what? This is the end of Brett Moffitt's career in NASCAR. I think this is going to be a death sentence for him. Well, AM Racing made it official that the 25 is going to be part time in 2024. I'm not even sure if Brett Moffitt's even on the driver lineup for that car. I mean, I haven't seen anything to say who's driving that car. They said it's going part time in 2024. They're not going to be at Daytona. So I don't know what to think. What do you think, Tom?
I mean, who would want to drive it anyways? You're getting all the B parts from the 15 team. I mean, maybe Jeffrey Earnhardt. I mean, Ty Dillon. I mean, come on. If you're trying to grow yourself in a racing career, your last thing you'd want to do is be part of the Room Brothers Racing and AM Racing.
It's a
Just
fact.
saying. It's like working all the way up to the IndyCar series and then saying you're going, full season racing with AJ Foyt Enterprises. It's not a brag.
They're real flexing here with the 25 team. So I don't know. I hope Brett Moffitt makes some starts, but then, like you said, like I mean, your career's done anyway. Once the paperwork was signed, once the announcement was made, AM Racing is basically a F tier team in NASCAR. It was
And it's
official.
so sad because 2023, Moffitt did something truly amazing with that team.
A
And it
startup
wasn't
team.
just Moffitt. Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't just Moffitt either. It was the team growing around Moffitt and Moffitt growing around the team. And something clicked there. And then, what probably happened is they saw some dollar signs come up in their face and they couldn't refuse it. I mean, let's be honest. That's probably what happened, but nonetheless, something was happening with AM and Brett Moffitt and it was clicking and it was working and it's like it's almost not to scale, but it's almost close to what Colleague's doing in Cup this year.
Yeah. Yeah, you're 100% right. I know we talked about it towards the end of last season too. Where like if Brett Moffitt comes back to AM Racing, like what they finished 13th, 14th in points, just right outside the playoff bubble.
Yeah,
We're like, yeah,
exactly.
they're gonna make the playoffs next year. They'll probably win a race or two. I mean, they're on the rise, and then everything went 180. So just sad
That was
to
terrible.
see motorsports and like I said, nepotism and like you said with money. That's all motorsports is anymore at the top levels at NASCAR. It's sad, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what transpires there at AM Racing. We'll keep tabs on that for sure, real closely here on the Dega Boys channel in 2024. But Marco Andretti also announced a part-time season schedule in the number 04 Cook Racing truck. I think it was, and then also 14 ARCA races. I mean, interesting.
Right.
And then he also announced that he's going to be running the Indy 500 again, making his return back to the Indy 500. So I feel like Marco Andretti's becoming the new Cooter Daily. Like, what happened?
Or Jimmy Johnson. That man needs some will to give up.
I wonder if
swear,
the whole
like-
SRX thing fell apart. So this is what he decided to do.
I swear, Jimmy Johnson was like singing the national anthem at my like high school freaking football game because he's so desperate for money.
Oh,
Yeah.
the relevance. Oh man. Looks like we have Matt Yost in the comments. If you have a mustache as a Brett Moffitt, your career stalls. Just saying. I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's the contributing factor. I get what you're saying, but
Is it the mustache? It's maybe it is.
maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, the thing that stinks about Brett Moffitt, and this is what my whole point on Brett Moffitt is. This guy won the Rookie of the Year in the Cup Series. He was a Truck Series champion, won multiple Truck Series races, won a truck race this last season, by the way. And then he was on the verge of taking AM Racing to a playoff berth in like their first year and was close on several occasions to winning a race. I think me and Tom had him as a dark horse most weeks than not. I mean,
Yeah.
just unbelievable season that he put together. And it was like, man, this guy, with what he's accomplished, you look at his resume, he's a Cup Series guy. I mean, look at who's in the Cup Series right now. What has Josh Berry done? What has Ryan Preece done? And I think that they're decent enough drivers, but like, look at their resumes compared to Brett Moffitt. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. But
Well, not Josh Berry, but you know, in terms of career stats. I'm sorry, but that guy sucks.
yeah, I agree with a lot of that. I mean, even look at Daniel Hemrick. I mean, even too. So, I mean, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
He says, in all seriousness, if you don't bring big bucks, you don't race. That's modern day motorsports right there in a nutshell. Alrighty. We talked about Cody Ware. Talked about Marco Andretti. Oh, Sage Karam has been announced to be running the Xfinity Series race at Daytona for Sam Hunt Racing. I was actually pretty excited about this. I wish it was a Daytona, though. I mean, the performance he put on last year in the Xfinity race at Road America, I gained a ton of respect for Sage Karam. I was really looking forward to him running more road races in Xfinity Series. I don't know how I feel about Daytona, though. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, well, I think Sage Karam is like a super sub. I really do. And I think he's proven that a lot. And look, he was a pretty good driver in IndyCar when he got the chance. Now, that wreck that he had at Pocono when he was racing for Ganassi, and the whole unfortunate situation that surrounded him with Justin Wilson really just put a huge stain on his career. It's not his fault, at all. It's just the circumstances of racing, but I really do feel like Sage Karam is a hidden gem. I really do. I really think that he is actually a possible grade A driver. I really do believe that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see what the future has to hold for Sage Karam. And even if he never goes full time in anything again, I think just seeing him on the track and having an opportunity to see his talent is like you said, he's a gem, man. Like, gotta appreciate it.
Yeah,
while we have him.
yeah. That's right.
And then lastly, I guess I should have mentioned this earlier, but Kaz Gralla also, since he's only got the 25 races for Rick Ware Racing in the 15, he's also announced that he'll be running in the Daytona 500 with Front Row in their third entry. So I mean, we've seen success with the third front row car at super speedways over the last couple of years. I mean, say what you will about Riley
Yeah.
Herbst, I think he's overrated, and I don't think he's that good. But I mean, he did have some pretty good performances there with front row in the Cup Series on super speedways. So, and Grawl, I would say is pretty decent road or super speedway racer. That's where he won a truck race, I believe, back in 2016, something like that. So I
Yeah, his
mean,
one decent season.
yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Front row is on the rise. Me and Tom have been really, really big on front row, especially this offseason. And the announcement that they're going to be having alliance with Penske now instead of with RFK. See how that translates to speed on track. I mean, that's a championship winning Cup Series program. They won the last 2 championships. I mean, they might not have the consistency, but they know how to get it done at the end of the season. So um, if that leads to more success for front row, then so be it, right?
You're
Also, one more thing I want to talk about before we get into the recap of the Roar before the 24 is I saw an article that said that NASCAR was going to be testing their electric vehicle at the Clash with, I believe it was David Reagan behind the wheel. And then they were maybe potentially looking into a hydrogen combustion engine. Like, what is going on with NASCAR? What are we doing? We're
Look,
taking 2 steps back
I've
here.
I've said it from the beginning. All right? All you have to do is introduce a hybrid system first and then build the stepping blocks to a fully electric. No way anybody's going to buy fully into the electric at first. It's just not going to happen. All right? What you got to do, V6 twin turboed with a hybrid recovery system and a little bit of a generator and that's it. You let that run for I don't know 7 years, 7 8 years, and then you start introducing the more batteries. That's what you got to do. You just look, and as much as we hate to say it, right? There's still a lot of old school NASCAR fans that still want the V8s, that still want to see, you know, Jeff Gordon era racing, Dale Earnhardt era racing, going back Bobby Allison, freaking Kyle Kyle Petty, you know what I mean? Like there's still people like that. You got to have them buy in. You have to have buy-in from these fans before you do it, and they are going about it the completely wrong way.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've been saying they need to go to V6 hybrid engines for a while now here on this channel. I agree. I mean, look at Formula E. We've mentioned this so many times before.
Yeah.
Nobody watches it. Nobody cares. All it is just washed out Formula One and IndyCar drivers, and that's it. That's all it is. That's what this series is gonna be. Like nobody's gonna go from the Xfinity to the electric engine class, then up to Cup. Like it's not gonna be a stepping stone series. It's gonna be literally just old retired NASCAR drivers that are just trying, like Jimmy Johnsons of the world, and trying to keep relevant in some way, in some capacity. And nobody's gonna watch. The attendance is gonna be terrible unless you put it on race day Sunday before the Cup race. Nobody's gonna be watching the series. Like Tom said, there's too many old school racing fans. This is just an absolute failure. With the amount of money and investment they're gonna put into this, the return value is nothing. They're gonna lose so much money in this
And
endeavor.
and don't get it wrong, right? Change is good, but you have to have the buy-in. You have to have people who believe in the product. Nobody believes in EV. How can you sell that? How can you do that to the fans of the sport? You got to step into it. You got to make those baby steps to get to the overall goal once you have that buy-in. If you have that buy-in, you're good to go. But you don't have that buy-in right now.
No, and it's not gonna change for a little while. I'm
No.
it just is what it is.
We're beating a freaking dead horse now, all right?
mean,
Just like it's to me, I feel like it's just common sense, but
yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree. So, yeah, I don't know if it'll be televised or not. It probably won't be. I don't think anybody cares to see it anyway. So,
well, at least we could hear each other talk like if we were sitting in the stands,
yeah, you won't even know there's a race going on.
Yeah, wouldn't even know.
Another day going on. Yeah. Alrighty, I think it's time we get right into reviewing the VP races this weekend at the Roar Before the 24, and then we'll cover qualifying, which was on Sunday. VP race number 1, we saw Steven Agakani win the LMP3 class. Him and Alex Kirby, which Alex Kirby, by the way, was the guy that pretty much dominated this class last year, was the man to beat. He had a really awful weekend. I think in the first race he ended up, or maybe it was the second race, he ended up spinning through the chicane on the backstretch. In the first race, him and Agakani put on a really good battle. I think Agakani sent it into turn 1 with like 2 to go on one of those restarts. Ended up making the pass through the S's. It was a phenomenal move. Ends up hanging on to win that race, kind of putting himself up in the front run of the championship, because there's only 5 race weekends in the VP series this year, and this is 2 of the 10 races ran this weekend. He sweeps them. He wins on Saturday, wins on Sunday. The other thing I want to talk about here too is Luca Mars. He ran last year in the Michelin Pilot Challenge Series. I think he's only like 18, 19 years old. Rising superstar in IMSA. I mean, this guy could drive. He ends up having a drag race to the line with Leafouge in the GSX class, and it was an awesome race. I think Leafouge was leading out of NASCAR 4. Luca Mars makes an incredible drafting move behind him, pulls out, and just sneaks it at the line. I think him moving over to Ford and running their Mustang program in GSX this year, I think that was a huge win, not only for his career, and then also Ford with trying to be this new up-and-coming manufacturer in IMSA and how much they've invested. I think this is a win-win all the way around. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, I mean this was a huge weekend for Ford, really debuting the Dark Horse, the new GT3, like, and then to do what they did this weekend. I mean, honestly, what a phenomenal start to the racing season for Ford.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like this is a great year for Ford. Like I said, Steven Avakakani won both races in the LMP3, and then Luca Mars won both races in GSX. The other thing I want to talk about, though, is race 2. Cody Ware, I think he started about P5, racing for his dad's team in LMP3, Rick Ware Racing. He ends up driving all the way through the field, ends up getting to the lead, and then I think it's like 17 minutes to go in the race. I'm just watching the lap times decrease and decrease. And then they go in to zoom into the leader, which was Cody Ware at the time. He's in lap traffic. This guy just completely forgot how to drive around traffic. I mean, he was making the wrong decisions. I mean, they'd be 2 wide in front of him. He'd follow the slow car, and then, I mean, what is he doing?
Look, Jay, he's used to being the traffic, okay? cut the guy some slack.
It was hard to watch, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It was so hard to watch. Extremely hard to watch. After everything he did to get to the lead, and then just to watch his lead evaporate, and then just completely take the wrong lines through traffic, and then get passed by Agakani, and then end up losing the race by a couple seconds there at the end. It was like, what happened? What happened?
So he ended up being the traffic after all.
Yeah. He was the traffic. But yeah, it was a sad race there for Rick Ware Racing. Sad race for Cody Ware there, and doesn't make his case of being likable or being a good story going into the NASCAR season if he does end up running part-time. Because, I mean, this is the race he should have and could have won. I mean, like, you're telling me that equipment isn't better than everybody around him? I mean, that was just, his car was just legs up faster than everybody else. He just couldn't drive through traffic. It was just really bad. But, yep, so the first 2 races, Luca Mars ends up sweeping GSX, and then Agakani ends up sweeping LMP3. So I'm not exactly sure when the next race is. I'll have to look at the schedule again. I've been looking at all these different schedules over the last few days, but I'll have to look back into that and see what the next one is. But yep, those are your 2 pretty much championship favorites right off the rip, sweeping the weekend there in the VP series. All right, I think it's time we talk about qualifying. First off, I want to talk about the GTD class with Faster Sullivan taking the pole with Thompson behind the wheel. Really kind of, what was it last year? They're the GTD car, so they're not the premier car, the 14 and GTD Pro. They did win that race at Watkins Glen. We've mentioned that here several times on this podcast, but I don't know. It just seemed like they are just kind of putting themselves as like the front runner here for this weekend. I mean, wow, the pace that they had there in qualifying and in practice. I mean, maybe I think Faster Sullivan, I think what they said, what their goal was this year is they want to win that GTD title. That was the one thing that's kind of been plaguing them the last few years. And they made it very apparent right away, especially claiming the pole. The driver, Thompson, behind the wheel, apparently he was a spotter 2 years ago. He just barely got called up to become the driver of this team. And so
Wow.
he
I
was
didn't know that.
extremely ecstatic about winning this pole. Like, this was like he was like 2 years ago when I'm sitting up at the spotter stand, I didn't think I'd ever get an opportunity to drive. And then they literally put all this faith and hope into me to run this race. They put me in for qualifying, put all the pressure on my shoulders, and I was able to get the job done. What a great storyline, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's
That's
crazy.
awesome. I didn't
So,
know he was a spotter.
yeah, pretty
That's
crazy, huh?
insane.
Yeah. I was real so it gives you a storyline going into the Rolex 24 to be excited for, right? Somebody to pull for.
Well, check this out. Check this out. So, Vassar Sullivan GTD, right, pulled a 144.494. The GTD Pro team pulled a 144.462.
Yeah,
So
pretty crazy.
0.003 of a second split the GTD Pro and the GTD team. And the
Yeah.
GTD team driver is a spotter.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy.
Wow. That's insane.
So that'll give everybody a little bit of a storyline there to follow here into the Rolex 24 to see how well they could do. This is like one of the last boxes they want to check there for Vassar Sullivan is to win this race and win this championship. So it's a great way to start it. Get all those qualifying points for claiming pole. So big moment there. And then in GTD Pro, a little bit different story. Actually, in GTD, the Iron Dames, they qualified what, like 11th? Their qualifying pace wasn't super great. So that we'll talk about them more here in a minute, but I did want to mention that their qualifying pace wasn't super great. So it'll be interesting to see their progression throughout the race, starting deeper in the field than what maybe we predicted, maybe a lot of people predicted with this Iron Dames team. We'll have to see where that progresses here with that. But in GTD Pro, we saw the AO Porsche with I'm gonna butcher this guy's name. I was trying to keep up with it. Prelude? I want to say that. Prelude? That sounds right.
Probably.
They end up winning
Can we just do the American pronunciation of it?
Hey, you don't name these people. It's just your job to pronounce it wrong.
Facts.
Prialx. Yeah.
But yeah,
Jay, you did fine.
Yeah, I feel like I did all right. I mean, if anybody knows the Dega Boys and our broadcasting abilities here, we've
all right,
a lot of
right.
people's names. Not by a lack of trying and effort, but it just happens in the heat of the moment. So, yes. But they end up claiming pole in GTD Pro. And then also I want to talk about LMP2 with United, with Ben Keating behind the wheel. They end up claiming the LMP2 pole. I think that this team, I know it's super early. We still haven't gotten into the season, but I mean, this team has got to be your championship favorite going into the season. Yeah. I mean, their driver lineup's insane. They were super fast last year. They won the championship last year. I know Ben Keating ran everything under the sun last year with GT stuff, and then he ran the World Endurance Championship, and now he's running IMSA for the championship with United. And United's one of those teams, since LMP2 isn't really the primary class in World Endurance Championship this year. He's moving over here to the United States primarily for this IMSA championship. So very good storyline there. Put down a really good flyer of a lap. And then we talked about it last week on the preview for the Roar Before the 24. This LMP2 class this year is stout, especially in the Rolex. I mean, wow. There's probably 8-9 of those guys teams that could win this race. It's pretty crazy. So I'm super excited about that. We'll talk about that more in our previews for the Rolex 24, but yes. And then on pole for the GTP class, before I mention the pole sitter, I just want to mention real quick that this race has been ran for 62 years, and I believe it was the top 6 all broke track record in qualifying for GTP. I mean, that's crazy insane. I mean, 6 of them? It might have been 5, but I think it was 6 if I read the numbers right there on the track record. But that is just insane to me. And to do it, it was your defending champions, Cadillac Racing, with Bull Pipo Durrani, my guy. I mean, I've pretty much made it apparent. I pull for Pipo Durrani. I like Pipo Durrani. I think he's an amazing driver. He basically put this team on his back last year and won the championship. It's just super impressive. He's got Jack Aiken as a teammate full time this year, which was their endurance driver last year. So I don't know how that's going to translate. We've talked about how much that he's probably lacking in pace and ability compared to Pipo Derani. But what makes this team interesting though is all the other GTP cars are running 4 drivers. This team is only running 3 for the Rolex, with Tom Bloomquist coming in there into the car as their endurance driver this year. So very intriguing, very intriguing. Anything you want to talk about with qualifying here, Tom? Anything I might have missed, or anything you want to touch on?
Yeah, I just think that the 01 team was just sandbagging a little bit so people can get on that hype train with the 31, but it's just not going to happen this year.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. I do love the dream team. I do, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Which yeah, I think we should just get right into it. I think let's start off with our predictions for the Rolex 24. We'll go GTP, LMP2, GTD Pro, GTD. We'll do it in that order. I'll go first, then Tom, then we'll let Jared roll final. Winner for this weekend's Rolex 24, the overall winner, GTP winner. I can't look any further. I've been high on the 01 Cadillac team forever, but I can't take him. I can't. I'm gonna rep my boy Pipo Derani, the Whelen Action Express Cadillac. They won the championship last year. They're gonna start off 2024 on the right note. They're gonna win the Rolex 24 with a 3-man team, and it's gonna be Pipo Derani who does the absolute work of a Chad this weekend. It carries that team to victory. Cannot wait. For my dark horse, purely just because they are the ultimate dark horse. I think they wrecked right there in practice right before qualifying. Couldn't make it out for qualifying. They're going to be starting dead last on the field. This team is just overlooked. There's really no chance of them winning this race unless the stars align and God himself comes out of the sky and just enhances the glory of this vehicle. But I love the look of it, man. The black carbon fiber Proton Porsche team. This car just looks amazing. I think it's a good storyline to get behind. They're starting dead last. They didn't even get to qualify. Nobody's got them on their radar, so I'm going to put them on my radar as my dark horse team this weekend. All righty, Tom. Who do you got?
All right. Well, of course, no other team than the Dream Team. We're talking about Alex Palou, Scott Dixon, Van der Zan, and the one and only Sebastian Bourdais in the 01 Cadillac for Ganassi. What did we say before the season started? They got to have a great Daytona. If they have a great Daytona, they're winning the championship. They're taking it all the way to the ship. And it starts this weekend with the 01 team taking overall. Yep. Seabass. Believer. All right. And then for my underdog, I got to go with Proton. If you don't go with Proton, what kind of a racing fan are you? I mean, we're talking about a team worse than Dale Coyne showing up at an IndyCar track and on any given weekend. All right, these guys are coming out with pure passion and a freaking beautiful car. If you guys haven't seen that car, oh my god! I mean, that thing is just. I mean, if we were to take that to any car show throughout America, I mean, this thing would finish P1, or it would. Finally finish P1 in something. But regardless, I mean, us as a collective fan group, we have to choose we have to egg them on. We have to give them all the motivation. Those guys are struggling. We all know they're struggling, but as fans, we can root them on and help them continue their run in this championship series, because the more cars, the better. And IMSA is one of the only organizations that does not shy away from car count.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to help them with that. Big believer.
Yeah, I agree with what you say, because with the increased interest in the sport and now having this record-breaking field count, they didn't just abandon their LMP3 class. They literally just moved them down to the VP Challenge or the VP Race Fuel Series and tried to make that even a better series than what it was last year, which is just admirable. Like, to not just say, hey, we can't have you race anymore. Like, they literally increased a different series to make it happen. Take notes, all other sanctioning bodies around the world. That is the way you run a series right there.
Yep.
All right, Jared. Who do you got this weekend?
I think personally, I think that the team of Scott Dixon and Peyote, they're gonna win. They got it in the bag. And my dark horse, and I'll be honest, don't really know all that much. But my dark horse, I just went with my instinctive gut, and Tom kind of hyped me up. I'm gonna go with Proton as my dark horse.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, baby.
I love it. I love it, man. That's just a good storyline. And then also one more thing. I know you guys both took the 01 Cadillac and I took the 31 Cadillac with Wheelan. I think it was Vandersander they interviewed him, and he usually is the qualifying driver for that team. And they moved Day over to qualify the car this season for the championship. And his thought was, you know what? I'm glad if I'm going to take a backseat to anybody, it's going to be Seabass because that dude can drive. So I just wanted to say that. I mean, you're right. The dream team, even the dream team knows they're the dream team. Alrighty, let's go straight into LMP2, your second premier prototype class this year. My favorite, I'm going to go with the 04 CrowdStrike. I know I wanted to take either of the Uniteds. I mean, they're going to be super freaking strong in this race. It's going to probably be between them at the end of the day, but I want to be a little different. I like the CrowdStrike car. We see Colin Braun driving for them this year. He didn't have an opportunity to go back to GTP with the whole 60 team with Meyer Shank not returning. Really had nowhere to go. And I think that this year, I think he's going to make it a mission to win the championship in LMP2, kind of put his name back on the pedestal as being that desirable guy to jump back to GTP in 2025. I like that storyline. Him teamed up with George Kurtz. George Kurtz, I think, is a fantastic driver, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. I think that this team is just going to be veteran savvy. I think they're going to be able to put the whole race together. I don't think there's going to be a lot of mistakes. And we don't really know a whole lot about United. I mean, they're going to have the pace. Yes, they've got the driver lineups, but how do we know that the reliability is going to be there? The 04 is a proven, ready-to-go team, especially here at the Rolex. I'm taking them to win this race. And then for my dark horse, I am going to take the number 33 Sean Creech team. And it's for 3 reasons and 3 reasons alone. The number 33 is my favorite number. They're running the 33 car. Also, there's 4 different chassis options available to these teams. Everybody but this team decided to go with the Orica chassis. They're running Ligier. They're an outlier. I love that idea. I love that fact. Gives you somebody else to root for because they're not following the crowd like everybody else. My third reason, their car is an American flag race car. The whole thing's an American flag. It's just, that's America right there. Daytona. Gotta vote for them. And then I guess if I'm going to throw in a little fourth reason just for whatever gets or whatever, they're like the least speed car out there. I mean, they're just so far behind in speed and technology. I mean, it's going to be a rough race for them. And just for those facts alone, little sentimental favorite for me.
All right. Well, look, I'm not as well versed in the LMP2 category per se versus GTB or GTD, but I'm going to go on the little safe side here for my favorite this weekend. I'm going to go with the number 2 United Auto car, and I really don't have a lot of reason behind it. I really don't. I just feel like exactly what Jay said. They're going to be extremely strong. They're going to have, a lot of backing. They've got phenomenal drivers behind them. I mean, they won the freaking pole. So it's like, it's a 24-hour race. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. But for my dark horse, I'm going to go with Team Felipe, number 74 Riley. And the reason why I'm going to go with them is because I feel like this is Felipe Massa's farewell tour. And he even said in an interview, Jay and I talked about that, this is the race that he always wanted to take part in. This is a race that he's always wanted to win. It would just be, to just cap off Felipe Massa and to never see him again and to let him win this race, I'm okay with it.
Storybook ending. Yeah. I think that, well, to be fair, I think this LMP2 class is going to be the most entertaining in the 24-hour Daytona. I think this is the class that everybody's going to be focusing on, hour 18, hour 20, as we get closer to the finish. I think there's going to be more people in contention towards the end of this race to win it out of this class than any other classes, and I think that's what's going to keep the intrigue going. And there's so many good teams. I mean, it's unbelievable. All right,
Make
Jared.
sure we got Felipe Massa's blood pressure medicine on standby.
Yeah.
Because that man's getting up there.
Oh, yeah. Well, and this team, to be fair, ran LMP3 last year, and they made the step up to LMP2 this year. So it's kind of a maiden voyage here for this team in LMP2. It's going to be a good storyline to keep track of.
Yeah.
All right, Jared, who do you got?
I agree with everything that has been said.
Fair enough. Alrighty. We'll move on to GTD Pro then. I'm going to stick with it. I picked them kind of as my whole pick, I guess, for the Roar before the 24. I'm just going to stick with them. Aston Martin, they're the only team running Aston Martin. They won this race last year. I feel like they got the experience. They got the driver lineup right. I think that the 23 Heart of Racing Aston is going to win this race. I think they're going to do it in pretty dominant fashion. I'm sticking with it. There's a lot of other good options. I mean, there is a ton of good options. I mean, Vassar Sullivan. You've got the Cadillac team this year that is going to be very quick. I'm not gonna venture off of my initial thought, my initial gut instinct, which is the 23 Heart of Racing to win this race. And then for my dark horse, this team ran GTD last year. They were making the step up to GTD Pro. I believe it was Madison Snow went and got his pro license this year, so they could come up, take a step up, and run in the GTD Pro. They could have went the easy route, right? They could have stayed in GTD, been the championship favorite again, and continued to just build race wins and championships off of their success at GTD. They're taking the gamble and the leap and the hope on themselves to go up to GTD Pro this year and compete for a championship. And I think it's just a great storyline. I think this team is super versed and experienced on all the different tracks they go to. I'm kind of taking them as my dark horse for a championship in this class, to be honest with you. But as far as the Rolex 24 class or race goes, I'm going to take them also as a dark horse in this race.
All right, for GTD Pro, I mean, in my opinion, you can't choose anybody else than the number 14, Vassar Sullivan. I mean, what a phenomenal year they capped off last year. Just being, I mean, a fair, great battle with Chevrolet or Pratt, or what was the team name? Was it Pratt Miller or was it Chevrolet?
Yeah,
Pratt Miller. So I honestly believe that this 14 team and their GTD and the GTD team, Vassar Sullivan, they're going to win the championship this year. I am a firm believer. I have some friends who work there, and just the things that we've been talking about. I mean, it just seems like Vassar and Sullivan are just dumping money into this program, and that they are ready to win. They are ready to start it off on a high note. I have full confidence that the 14 team is going to win it. I really do. And, you know, if they don't win it, it's because either reliability or something on track happened that was completely out of their fault.
like
I really
last year.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you know what? I'm kind of a fanboy for Vassar Sullivan. So, I don't care.
They're
I'm
like
a
the
huge
track
fan.
house of IMSA, to be honest. I mean, younger
Really?
owners, they're
Really?
energetic. They're
Yep.
just passionate about what they do. They're a great team to pull
Yep.
for.
Exactly. So for my underdog, to kind of continue on my VP race deal with Ford, I'm going to go with the number 65 Ford Multimatic. Wouldn't it just be amazing to see Ford win in both the VP and the 24-hour? That would just, and then, you know, you roll right into the Daytona 500 where we know the Fords are just so freaking strong. Now, every year, Ford's going to have a great chance to win that race too. So, I mean, to cap it off at Daytona for the road course, and then to go to the oval and have a shot there as well. I mean, it's just going to be phenomenal, and I think that it's a possibility. I just don't think that the Ford teams don't really have the drivers behind them. But hey, it's a 24-hour race. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Jared? Do you have any picks? Do you have anything you want to mention? Kind of nothing.
I'm just happy to be here.
Heck yeah. All right, we're gonna cap this off with the GTD. My favorite, not wavering. I believe in these ladies. We mentioned it in the qualifying. They qualified P11. I don't think that's gonna matter. I think that they've just got the experience. They're super freaking talented. Nobody's giving them their due. They're gonna shock the dang world this weekend. They're gonna win the GTD class, and it's gonna. I think that they win it by a lap or two. I think that they literally just put it on them boys this weekend. And I'm super excited. I'm here for it. Let's go Iron Dames all the way. Iron Dames, baby. Pulling for them till the end. And then if I had to take a dark horse, like what Tom said with the Ford Multimatic team, I'm going to take the 55 Proton. They're not going to have any chance really in the GTV class. But with their Ford Mustang program, Tom, like everything Tom said, I'm just going to go with his sentiment here. Wouldn't it be freaking awesome to see them win something this weekend in the Rolex 24 after, like he said, with the VP series and then going into the Daytona 500 with the speed they have? This could be the class maybe they could win one in with Proton Ford number 55.
Yep. All right. So for my GTD, for my favorite and my underdog, you just can't look. They came from WEC, where they kicked ass there. They won races, and now they're coming back over to America with the Lamborghinis. First year with that package, they're going to come back with all the experience that they got from WEC. They're going to come here and kick everybody's ass here too. It's the Iron Dames taking it all the way. Number 83, number 1 on the racetrack in our hearts. The best team that we could have asked for. The Iron Dames are going to go out there and show what women are made of, finally, in motorsports. Finally. None of this fake TikTok creator bullcrap, but real race car drivers.
Yes. Yes.
I love to see Tom so animated. It makes me happy.
I'm guessing that's your pick too then, Jared. Are you
Passionate.
pulling Iron Dames this weekend too, my guy? We're going to pump the Iron Dames all weekend long, all race long. I'm with it, man. I'm here for it. I am here for it. I can't wait for this race to get started. I am so excited. I think Tommy texted me earlier. He's like, man, I'm so dang ready for this race to go. I'm done waiting. I feel that way, man. I'm like, this is like my countdown to Christmas, man. I'm ready. I want this race to get going already this Saturday.
I'm so ready, dude.
Oh.
I'm jittery. You know, like I feel the butterflies just ready to just unleash. That green flag at Daytona is going to be such a weight lifted off. Like I'm finally, and it's not a regular 24-hour. All right. We're getting so much from WEC. We're getting preseason drama after last year at Petit Le Mans. We're with the GTP classes, even with the GTD Pro. I mean, it's just this year's 24 is got to be one of the top 5 most anticipated 24s that we've ever witnessed. I mean, it's going to be, you know, we got the Ford aspect too. We got women coming in and they're
customer purchase cars. I mean,
Porsches.
We got United coming over
McLaren.
from WEC. I mean, there's IndyCar drivers, Formula 1 drivers. I mean, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
It can't get better. It can't get better.
I'm so excited for it. We'll be here. And to mention that, we'll be here on Sunday for the final 4 hours that race. Tune in here on this channel at around 10 a.m. Eastern time. And we will do our watch party for the first one of 2024. And we'll be right here calling it to the end. And basically updating you for everything that happened before if you have missed any parts of the race. Because I'm going to be tuned in pretty much the whole time. I mean, it's going to be on. It's going to be great. I can't wait. I don't want to miss a second of it. Alrighty, and then in the chat, Matt Yost says, if I could, I would pick the 24-hour god Matt Sherlock, that legend soloed the 24-hour race on
Ooh.
iRacing, plus a great dude. Best split I've ever been a part of. Wow. Yeah, Tom, do you want to
Hey,
talk
can we
about
talk
the?
about?
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah,
say
I
you
do.
take over for a second. You tell us about
All
it.
right, so this weekend we took part in the 24 hours of Daytona. Last weekend, sorry, 24 hours of Daytona on iRacing, and we really got a team together quite quickly. We didn't. Well, a lot of us, or some of us, had some practice, and the others really didn't, and it really didn't matter. We just wanted to show up and have some fun. But man, the first 3 hours, we got behind the wheel, and our team got pretty much lapped the whole field. We did lap the whole field as a GTD car. So we did a phenomenal job putting ourselves in a great position. Did a little bit of a driver change and was going really well, and then we had some car issues, and it kind of took us out of the race there. But uh, we rebounded, came back to P9, I think. Um, 15 laps down. No. I'm sorry, we were like 40 laps down. But you know, we learned a lot with some of our guys. Actually, Dallas raced with us. Dallas Ewert, Keith Brubaker, and Brad Haldane. Brad Haldane has been like my right hand man when it comes to endurance racing. He's really good. We'll definitely be seeing more of him in the future with some Dega Boys colors. So, but Brad did a phenomenal job. Keith had some brake bias issues that we fixed uh, a lot later down the line. We should have noticed that at first, but we didn't. But nonetheless, came home P9, did a great job there. But look, this guy that Matt Yost is talking about, all right, everybody in the iRacing community has seen him on Reddit. This man, this ultimate Chad, absolute unit of a man, went out and drove 24 hours straight by himself and won the Daytona 24 hours on iRacing. Holy crap. Dude, I was in my seat for like 3 hours, and I'm like, man, get me out of this. This is terrible. I couldn't even. I was after an hour. I was just like, man, this freaking sucks. This man did it for 24 hours. And I don't even. I wasn't even in my split. It was actually Matt Yost split, and I was just jumping in and seeing how they were doing and whatnot. But I cannot believe somebody actually pulled it off. I mean, it was insane. It was just insane.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like a lot of the. Oh yeah, so he said unintentionally done so less. His buddy left him high and dry, and he just powered through. I mean, dang.
Oh.
To any casuals that
it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out exactly. Any casuals that downplay this, I implore you to get in your car tomorrow and just drive 24 hours straight. Just drive around town 24 hours straight. Tell me you could do it.
That's not even including.
That's not racing. Yeah.
And heat. You
Yeah.
get AC.
Yeah.
Cooled seats, heated seats if you need it.
So yeah, if you don't think this is an incredible feat, try that. Just saying.
I wonder if his buddy feels bad at all, like any.
I bet you his buddy is like, damn, I should have raced.
Yeah, Teddy would have won. Yeah. So
Yeah,
just a crazy
insane
feat. Just a crazy, crazy feat. One that we'll be talking about for years to come for sure. What an absolute feat that guy is. That he did. Alrighty. How we want to end this podcast here is we kind of just want to give you some of our hopes, dreams, ambitions. I don't know what we want most to happen here in 2024. Maybe some things that we've talked before about, maybe things we haven't talked about before. Just kind of some little things that we kind of want to see here in 2024. I guess I'll lead off, then I'll let Tom kind of go, and then we'll let Jared kind of give some of his feedback. My first thing is I'm just super high on these two drivers in particular, Brett Moffitt, Sheldon Creed. I just hope this year they just find the success that we have been longing for. Maybe not all racing fans, because a lot of people probably don't have a good opinion of these two drivers, but I think these two drivers are probably two of the most Cup-ready drivers that aren't racing in the Cup Series. These guys have deserved Cup rides. They will Hopefully someday both have cup rides. I just want to see them do extremely well this year. Another one, I want to see Front Row continue to have success and continue to get faster. I mean, this team we've seen them from the beginning of their NASCAR ventures where they were a back marker, barely could finish races type team. Then they go on and win some races with different drivers throughout the years. And they finally look like a team that is a consistent playoff team in NASCAR. We saw Michael McDowell win a couple races over the last couple of years. I think that he is going to continue to be successful. Todd Gilliland. Me and Tom have been super high on Todd Gilliland all of last year. This is his third year. And if you look to Harrison Burton, for example, who is in the exact same scenario with a Ford team, I would say probably even a more successful Ford team with the track record Wood Brothers have had, with the drivers they've had and the support they get. I feel like Todd Gilliland is going to win races this year. And I put it on my bold predictions. I think he's going to win a race this year. He's going to be a Cup Series winner. And I am super excited to see as Front Row continues to progress. Also, Alpine in Formula One. This team is like my team. I love pulling for Alpine. I think it's just an amazing story. French team, French manufacturer, French drivers. Just they are just, the problem is they're just a mid-tier team. I mean, they're not bad enough to be in the bottom 5, but they're not good enough to be in the top 5 either. They're just right in the middle, smack dab, competing against themselves. I want to see them take a step forward. I want to see them compete with the Aston Martins and the Ferraris of the world. I want to see them get more podiums. I want to see these drivers win races. And maybe a couple more years down the line, when the 2026 package comes around, maybe they'll be the front runners of that entire package, and they'll be able to take this Alpine team to the top with the investors they have coming in. It just, everything looks up for Alpine. I want to see this year be a big step forward for them. Also, this is kind of a two-part thing. I want to see Kyle Larson just have an absolutely amazing year this year. I want to see him win multiple crown jewel events in NASCAR. I want to see him win the Indy 500. I think it would be the coolest damn thing in the world if he could go out and win the Indy 500, catch a helicopter back to Charlotte, and win the 600 in the same day. If anybody that's ever ran the double, I think he's got the best chance of anybody. And I'm saying even better than Tony Stewart. I think that Kyle Larson could really do this. I want to see it so bad. As somebody that just wants to see great racing and to see history be made, something that the world could rally behind and really take this story to put motorsports on the front page of everything, Kyle Larson's that guy. Kyle Larson is that guy. His season got to a little rough start there with the whole Chili Bowl failure, but he ends up going out and winning a race at the Wild West Shootout. I want to see him just continue to win a bunch of stuff this year. I just think I think he is the best driver right now that we have in North America, besides maybe Alex Blow. I just want to see him do great things. Also, I want North Wilkesboro to survive. I want it to get past the cancerous fan base that NASCAR has. I know what the reception of it's going to be after this year's All-Star race, and it just really saddens me. I want to see this track survive. I want to see it get put onto a points-paying race. I want to see this race play out with a 400 miles with no stages. I think that would be the best NASCAR race we could ever ask for, even with the terrible short track package, even with these terrible cars. I just think that it's so old school, and we need that old school aspect back in racing. I hope it survives. And then also, I'm excited for the second season of the High Limit Sprint Cars. We saw Kyle Larson. It's his series. Everybody's coming to try and compete against Larson to win this High Limit Sprint Car series. I want to see who takes a step this year and puts it to Larson in the High Limit Sprint Cars. I want to see who that next great, amazing race car driver is. It could be Corey Day. I mean, this guy really impressed the hell out of me at the Chili Bowl. This is a guy that I think if he gets an opportunity at something bigger and better than what he's in now, I think this is a guy to watch out for. I'm excited to see somebody take it to Larson. See Rico Abreu again, just dominating up in the sprint car world. I mean, he is such a great driver. So fun to watch. And then also another thing I would really like to see in 2024 is I want to see Denny Hamlin go winless. I think I just am so tired of this I can't win a championship. I'm going to let everything get to my head and all these people on the internet. And I love the drama and I love the hill aspect of motorsports, but this guy is just an absolute clown. The more time that goes by, the less I respect him. I don't know why. I just feel that way.
Did you see that he proposed to his wife?
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Just the weirdest clownery, dude. It's just the weirdest
bro.
stuff, dude.
Just weird.
I just want to see Reddick in his owned cars do better than him this year and him go winless, and then really kind of just level the tides here. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm looking at. And then I don't know, my last one here, and it's just because I'm a huge Hendrick guy, always been a Hendrick guy, and I don't know. I want to see William Byron, Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson. I want to see those three guys compete for a championship this year. I think it would be freaking awesome if all three of those guys made the Final Four this year with Logano, because we already know Logano is going to make it. It's an even year. I hate to tell you, it's just going to happen. But I would like to see those three guys all go to the championship four and battle with each other. I just think it would be freaking awesome. As a Hendrick homer, like I am, I just think it'd be cool to see that happen. So those are my hopes for 2024.
All right. I'm going to put this P1 because it is my most hopeful. I'll explain why. Mercedes on the bottom. Worse than Williams. That's what I want to see. Why? You guys are the worst fans in the whole world. You guys are worse than Dallas Cowboy fans. You guys are worse than Manchester United fans. You guys are just terrible. You guys take facts out of, Kermit's brown finger, and you guys just think it's the greatest thing since God gave us sliced bread. It's the facts aren't even facts. They're just. I can't even fathom where this comes from. Okay, just terrible. You fans are the reason why I hate Mercedes, and the reason, why, and also because of how George Russell says Tuesday. All right. What I also want to see is I want Alex Palou to go back to back, and I think it's entirely possible. He's just going to be. Look, I think we're in the Palou era for IndyCar, and can't do anything about it. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, one of the coolest guys you'll ever meet. He doesn't have a stain on his record at all. I mean, he's just the coolest guy that you can get, and McLaren almost swindled him. Almost. I want to see Moffitt finding a ride. I think that it's a long shot. I really do, just because Moffitt's past. He has a hard time finding rides. When he does find a ride, it's some underfunded team, and he makes it. He makes it the power to be, and then he gets kicked out over crap. So I think Moffitt needs to stop being the nice guy, because nice guys finish last. I really, really, really want to see the Aussie invasion be a success. I really do. And I want everybody to realize that that is a good thing. Because it is. There's nothing wrong about it. It is great to get new spectators in the sport. It's great to get new fans in the sport. It's great to get new drivers in the sport. If we could get 4 F1 drivers tomorrow, we should welcome them with open arms. Honestly, that is where we find the sport growing. Sponsors, people, fans, countries, it doesn't matter. That's how we grow. So I hope that this baby step with Australia doesn't turn into a baby step. It turns into a leap. And we get enough buy-in, which we are. We've got a lot of buy-in. It's going to happen. I just hope it's a huge success. I want to see Sebastian Bourdais winning the championship. I was saying that last year. I said it during the off season. I'm going to say it all year long again. I really do think this is the year. I really do. Going back to the Cup Series, I think it'd be totally dope to see 16 different winners. I think 16 plus is ideal. I think anything less would kind of suck. But 16 plus is the goal. I want to see 7 different winners in F1. Wouldn't that be the most amazing F1 season that we've seen since 2013? I think that would just be amazing. I think we're going to see Danny Ricciardo in Red Bull once again. And he's going to be right alongside Max Verstappen. And it's going to be the dream team once again, except both drivers are going to be more mature. They're going to be able to talk things out. It's not going to be toxic anymore, and everybody's going to know their place. I think that opportunity arises this year. And then for my final want, my final hopes for this year, I think it's deservable. I think that it's going. It's a matter of time. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of time, but a matter of time again. But we're going to see Trackhouse. My hope, Chastain in the final four. And look, they got some big dollar sponsors. They got Busch Beer with them this year. That's big money. Big money. And I think that Trackhouse is very smart with where they put their resources. I think all that money is going to go right back to the team. We're going to see a huge performance increase. I really do, and I think that's going to translate to Chastain. Maybe a little bit of Spire Motorsports going to or Spire having a great run too, but Trackhouse really making it to the final four.
All the stuff that I'm excited about, I'm going to stay in the realm of NASCAR because that's all I really watch. So I know you guys really wanted to hear my takes on Formula E, but I'm just going to leave that one alone. But I'm really excited. Like Jake kind of stole mine from me, but I was really wanted to look forward to see Larson this year and all the stuff that he's got going on. I just, I'm not biased, but I think he's the best, unbiasedly. I think he's the best. He's the best. And I want to see Alex Bowman have a good year too because I really like Alex Bowman. He's my second favorite driver, so I want to see Alex Bowman do good this year too. It's kind of broke my heart to see him have the year he had. I'm interested to see Joey Logano finally show up this year. I mean, he took a year off. So I can't wait to see what he does this year. I mean, I wish I could vastly underperform for an entire year at my work. I mean, if you ask my boss, I've been vastly underperforming since I started. I also am looking forward to seeing Danny Hamlin wins nothing this year. Jake kind of stole that one from me too. I'm looking forward to seeing my favorite driver beat Danny Hamlin again. And I'm looking forward to the clash at the Coliseum. I'm not looking forward to going to the Coliseum because that place is an absolute freaking dump. And a NASCAR, NASCAR should just buy it because at least when NASCAR comes to town, like there's people like have the like incentive to actually go in the stadium to watch an event. So NASCAR should take it and just pave over it and just make it a permanent track there. And I'm just excited for the whole NASCAR season. And I hope Ryan Blaney does really good again this year, and I hope Lyle Gregson gets punched again. And, I think that covers it all.
Who would be your ideal punch victim or punching person to Gregson? Who do you want to see punch Gregson the most? I guess I put you on the spot there, but there's got to be at least somebody you're looking at to be like the guy to be the aggressor here and punch Gregson.
If I had the say, I would put security outside the stadium and say Lyle Gregson's not allowed in. Is what I would do. If I got my way, it wouldn't even be needed. So yeah, I think that I'm gonna go with that.
I like it. Yeah. All right. Yeah, there's some good stuff to look forward to this season. Me and Tom have been saying this for the last 2 months, 3 months, the whole off season. This is going to be the greatest racing season of all time. We're in the golden era of motorsports and just everything going on with the growth in so many different series, the amount of driver talent that we have right now. I feel like it's almost at an all-time high. It's unbelievable. And it's just a great time to be a racing fan. Great time. If you're new to racing, it's a great time to to start. This is a great time to enter motorsports in general. So I'm super excited for the season to start. Jittery already. We're only 4 days away from the Rolex.
4 days,
oh my
baby.
God, dude, we're right there, dude. It's so close. And we got Michelin Pilot Challenge on. Actually, we're like 3 days because we got Michelin Pilot Challenge on
Oh
Friday.
yeah, that's
so
right. Yeah.
we're even closer than expected. So I am super excited for this year. I'm super excited to get this thing going. We got a little bit of a taste over the last couple of weeks with some Chili Bowl and some Wild West Shootout stuff. We had a little bit this weekend with the VP series, but we're getting back into the grind. Oh, I love it. Alrighty, Tom. What is our schedule for streaming this week? We already mentioned the watch
yeah.
party, so what do we got else going on this week?
All right, so Thursday we're racing once again with the back markers guys. We're gonna be going to Homestead. So with the Xfinity cars, Homestead's always a phenomenal track. No matter no matter what car we bring there, it's great racing. Nexus has put that on display. I mean, how many times? I don't know. It's just a phenomenal track. It's gonna be great with these guys. We got a huge turnout with them. So just make sure you guys tune in for that. And then on Saturday, we're going back with the PSCRL. We're going to Kansas with the trucks. 150 laps there with the stage lap at lap 30. A little bit later on a Saturday. Race time is at 9:30, but nonetheless, we'll be streaming right here. And then, let's see. Let's pull up Nexus. So, on the 18th of February, we're going to have our Daytona qualifications. So, you could tune in for that. Let's see, February 26th is our Monday IndyCar series. And so make sure you tune in for that. We still got a little bit of time before we start these. So a lot of hype that we can go off with this. But also our Wednesday NASCAR series, the 21st of February, will be at Daytona. I should mention the 18th of February with the qualifications there. That's our new IMSA series. That's our multi-class GTP, LMP3, GT3 crew that we got going on there. And let me tell you something about that right now. All right. We've recruited an ungodly amount of people for all three of these classes. We're talking over or close to 20 drivers per class. And that's being very conservative. This is going to be insane. We're going to have more cars than the real Daytona 24. I mean, it's going to be insane. It's going to be crazy, honestly. So I highly encourage that you guys tune in for that. We're going to have some new overlays for you guys as well. It's going to be phenomenal. Steven and I have worked on it a little bit with the visuals and whatnot, mostly Steven because he's just a freaking mastermind when it comes to it. But nonetheless, the overlays are beautiful. The racing is phenomenal. We've got some top-notch drivers coming to that. That's the series I'm most excited for, the multi-class IMSA racing. Always have been, always will be, but best racing on the planet, really, in my opinion. But look, we got lots of cool stuff coming up. We've got even a couple of awards coming up for our Nexus series. Somebody can go and win a race in all three series. If you do, you get an award. If you win on an oval, a street course, and a road course with the IndyCar series, you win an award. There's championships for each individual league, and then they're also going to do a championship with combined points. So if you only race two series, your combined points would be from those two series. But if you race all three series, you get combined points for all three series. If you only race one, well, you're kind of SOL. But there's just so much going on, so many opportunities for prizes, and it's endless, and it's going to be awesome. It's all going to be broadcasted here, and giving you guys the best product from iRacing, best drivers in the business.
Heck yeah. I'm super excited. We're getting right into the nitty gritty of our broadcasting schedule for 2024. We're going to be streaming pretty much nonstop here real soon. I mean, it's starting to kick up, and we'll have some more watch parties as well thrown in there, sprinkled in. We're gonna also do, and one thing you didn't mention also is our anniversary race with the Montreal Cup Series
Yes.
race. We are going to hype this thing up like crazy. We're probably gonna do a watch party, rewatching it, maybe the day before or maybe a week before we actually broadcast the race, and we're gonna turn this into a big deal because this is our inaugural broadcast we ever did, and it's a big milestone for us. We're super excited to bring that to
Yeah.
you and see the evolution of the Dega Boys from the beginning. It's gonna be great.
Evolution. That's right.
Alrighty. So yeah, catch us, guy. Our next live stream will be on Thursday, right here on this
Thursday,
channel for the
baby.
Backmarkers League. Just stay tuned to our channel. Go to look at our live tab on our YouTube channel. You'll see all the live streams when they're scheduled for this week. Trying to keep those updated as soon as possible when we have the information available to us, so that you guys can set a reminder, put the notification bell on. But with that being said, I just want to thank everybody who has liked, commented, and subscribed and interacted, watched our videos on this channel. You guys mean the absolute world to us. I can't believe we hit 1,000 subs. We talked about this here at the beginning, but we hit 1,000 subs. I can't believe
Insane.
it. I thought
We haven't even
we
been
would
on here
never
for a
reach
year,
it.
bro.
I didn't think we would
1,000
ever reach
subs.
it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. When we first started this, if you would have told me it would have been at 1,000 subs within a year, I would have been like, yeah, I don't think so. Like, that's not happening. Unbelievable the amount of support we got. Growing this platform is as the premier motorsports platform on the internet. There's no other platform out there that's talking about this much racing that we talk about. And if every type of racing you want to know about, we cover it right here on this channel. And we're just racing nuts. This is what we do. This is our life. This is our passion. This is what we love. And we're meeting a lot of cool people along the way that have the same thoughts and ideas with racing as we do. And it's awesome to just build this awesome community, having a place where everybody can interact and there's something for everybody here. So I love it. And if you guys want to become a member of our channel, there is many different tiers for you to choose from whatever your ranging of your budget is. You can be a member of our channel and help support us. All of that goes back to helping us make more great content, allows us to create more awesome videos and more awesome ideas here in the future. Dallas Seward, give him a big shout out. He is a member of our channel. We thank you so much, Dallas, for all your support. And if you guys want to get a shout out on all of our live streams, just like Dallas, go hit that membership on our channel. Join the Dega Boys family, where we love everybody. Also, stay tuned to all future content. Next week for the podcast, we're going to be doing a full breakdown of the Rolex 24. Not exactly sure exactly what else we're going to be covering next week. Everything changes, but we're going to be doing a full breakdown of the Rolex 24. Can't wait to bring that to you guys. There's going to be so much drama. 24-hour race. There's going to be a lot of action to cover. Can't wait to bring that to you guys here. And then we'll set up for Daytona because the Clash is just right around the corner here at the beginning of February. So we're right there, right in the mix of things. And then in early March, we got IndyCar Formula One are back. World Endurance Championships back in early March as well. So a lot of great racing, and then all the dirt track racing that's going to be headed our way as well here over the next few months. Can't wait to bring all that content to you. Make sure you guys go check out our merch store. If you guys want to buy some sweet Dega Boys merch, swag, represent the channel, go do that. All of that goes back to help support our channel and make great content.
Hey, we hit 1,000 subs.
Yes, I've got all of the... So yes, I was going to talk about that actually. So our plan is to give anybody that is publicly subscribed to the Dega Boys channel. You must be publicly subscribed so we know if you're subscribed or not. We will put all of your names on a spin wheel. We will spin it, whatever name it lands on. We'll get in contact with you and send you a merch item. Just a big thanks to all of our subscribers. Doesn't matter if you subscribed yesterday or day one of our channel. Everybody has the same equal chance to win this merch item because your guys' support has been the world. So if you guys aren't publicly subscribed on the channel, or it doesn't say that you're publicly subscribed, change that real quick so we can add your name to the spin wheel. We're going to probably do that next week. That sound like a good idea? Let's do that next week. We'll do the spin wheel here on this channel, and you guys can all tune in live and see who the winner is of this merch item. And we wish the best of luck to all of you guys, and we wish we could give everybody some merch for representing this Dega Boys. Alrighty, I think. Oh wait, I just want to give a shout out to King of Camo. big affiliate of our channel. They do just amazing gun customizations. They have great funny content. I mean, Tom, their shorts are just freaking hilarious, man. They've got such great content. If you love firearms or guns or you're a gun nut, these guys will get you covered. They do also paint customizations. They do gun customizations. They do amazing work. Everything they do is basically flawless. I mean, it's absolutely awesome. Big supporters of our channel. We love to support their channel. So go out and comment on their videos and tell them hashtag Team Digga Boys, because we are going to be taking it to them at the Digga Games in April. We can't wait to have that little competition, little friendly game there with those awesome guys over there at King Camo, Nate and Ryan. Awesome dudes. Can't wait to have the Digga Game competition with you guys here in April. So make sure you guys go and subscribe to their channel and tell them that the Digga Boys sent you, and leave them a little hashtag Team Digga Boys. Is there anything else that I need to mention here, Tom, or anything else you got in mind? Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
That's kind of where I was at.
I'm good.
Make sure you guys go follow all of our socials. I forgot to mention that. They're all on the bottom of the screen now. There's a lot more information and such that you need if you need any more clarification or understanding of stuff on our channel. We post on all of our socials almost daily now, trying my hardest to keep updated on those. So that being said, this has been the Digga Boys. Thank you guys again for 1,000 subscribers. It means the world to us. And we will catch you guys all in next week's episode 54 of the Full Send Half Mast podcast. And with that, have a good night. Do, 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 do.